not even like leading the golf tournament. I'm 6 back.
You could be.
But I mean, sneaky could be like 3 or 4 back at the end of the day.
All right, Denny McCarthy, 2 under 68. Denny, can you talk us through your round today?
Yeah. I think I blacked out. I don't even remember anything. No, I'm just kidding. I played really solid golf. I've been playing really solid golf. I played really well yesterday and shot even par. I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I felt like I could have shot 2 to 5 under yesterday, and I shot even. So kind of lit a little fire under me. I just tried to come out with the mindset today, like I'm going to try and play great today. I'm going to try and shoot a number that gets me back in the tournament. And I like playing in hard conditions, so it was a great day for that type of opportunity for me to come out and shoot a decent number and, watch the guys in the afternoon have to play this place.
Yeah, and how were the course conditions compared to the first 2 days?
It was firmer today, obviously chillier temperatures, wind out of the northwest. It played a little different, so just it tilted around a little bit where all the holes played a little bit different today, required a little more thinking. Greens firmed up, required more thinking on, where you want to land the ball. Even a couple holes like you're not even almost if you get like out of position or too far back, you're almost like playing to like miss it short or like into the wind or wherever it's uphill. It's almost not worth trying to like take on a really hard shot if that makes sense, and like you're almost trying to miss it in a bunker or short or. So that's kind of the thinking that's going on. There's a lot of thinking going on. But, I mean, hitting fairways are really important. There's a lot of crosswinds, quartering in off the left and off the right. You almost need to hit some somewhat risky, what I called it, risky shots to hold fairways or hold greens. And, I think someone up top is probably going to – I could see someone shooting maybe under par, but, also maybe, struggling and shooting a couple over. It's just – it's one of those places where if you're hitting fairways, you can shoot a decent score, and if you're not, it's going to be a fight.
Over to your right.
What are you going to do now the rest of the day? I mean, are you going to flip this thing on and hope guys
I haven't been to a Red Sox game this week. I feel like tonight's a good night for it. A little cooler. Probably go for the first half of the baseball game. Maybe just hit a few balls and stay loose, and maybe take a little nap. Maybe watch a little of the coverage. I don't know yet.
You gonna have the leaderboard up on your phone?
Not really. I mean, look, there's a lot of guys in front of me, a lot of top guys. I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. I mean, I would expect a couple of those guys to hang around even par today. So I'm gonna have to go out tomorrow regardless and do something similar to what I did today and maybe make a few more putts.
Far right.
Yeah.
Which holes in particular played like much harder than they did over the first two?
Number 10 was a par 5 today. I mean, it says par 4, but it's a total par 5. I was almost thinking I couldn't even clear. Like they didn't move the tee up that much, and it's like 275 cover the cliff straight into a 25 mile an hour cold wind. So I don't usually have that in my bag. So I was looking a little more left. That was a really hard hole today. Like 12, even though like 12 is down off the left, it's a front pin. It's really hard to kind of land it and keep it there. 13 was brutal. I birdied 13 today. That might be a skin. I mean, honestly, I mean, I hit a perfect smoke draw 3-wood and then a flighted 6-iron to 13 feet and made it. I felt like that was an eagle, really. Made a good birdie on 16 coming in and cleaned up a couple nice par putts on 17, 18. Trying to think of the other holes. 2's a really hard par 3. 3 played hard today, straight into the wind. Just a hard golf course.
Yeah, Michael?
What's the biggest adjustment you got to make when the wind turns like it has, the temperature drops, and you haven't even practiced this golf course in a wind like this? What are these guys going to face this afternoon?
A lot of into-the-wind shots where you got to just have really good control of your ball and flighting it, and I love doing that. I've lived in South Florida, Jupiter area the last 6 or 7 years, and I've played in a lot of heavy winds. I've really learned how to control my golf ball and take a couple clubs down and just hit it really, really soft. Still making a decent swing, but hitting it 70%, 65, 70%, just so the spin's not rising up on you. So it's just a little more control. So I hit a couple really, really nice. those type of shots today. There's just, and you're going to have a handful of par putts out there today. I mean, it's just the greens have firmed up, so you're not going to be hitting as close. It's hard to then get 40 footers dead around the hole, so you're going to be having clean up a lot of 4 to 6 footers around the hole. So, I mean, it tested all aspects of the game today. It's one of those places where it's like the more I play it, the more I enjoy playing it, and am starting to figure it out a little more.
One quick follow-up then. The hole locations today, more challenging than you've seen so far this week, or is it more gettable?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like one's back in the center and it's downwind, so like you can just land something in the middle of the green and chase it back to one. Like I could see a couple of the guys birdieing one right away. I didn't think they were like overly difficult. There's a couple greens where like they can't use spots. Like number 4, they put it in the same spot they have the first 2 days. So it's like there's a couple greens where they have to put it in the same spots, like 8, the par 5, like so. And then they've mixed some holes around. I mean, I didn't think they were overly difficult. I thought they were fair. They were difficult but fair. You know, nothing like crazy like on slopes or, you know, nothing too extreme. Put it that way.
Go ahead, Andy.
You've played in a ton of USGA tournaments throughout your amateur and pro career. How does the country club rank in terms of just naturally difficult golf course of those courses?
Yeah, it's up there. This is the second USGA event I've played here. I played the AM in 13. You know, there's an element. I like it because it's different. You know, we don't play. This place has a lot of blind golf shots, and we don't play that many places like this. So you have to really be committed and trust your lines. I wouldn't say like if the fairways were maybe 10 yards more narrow, it would be extremely hard. I wouldn't say they're forgiving, but they're not like super narrow. And they've on the harder holes. I agree with what they've done. They've kind of graduated the rough. So if you're just off the fairway, you can get a lie where you can play from. You can get it up. It's not just like hacking out. Which I really like what they've done this week with kind of graduating the rough on the harder holes. And then some of the shorter holes, if you miss the fairway, the rough is thick right off the fairway, which I agree with. Like if it's a short hole, you're going to get a wedge. You should be able to hit the fairway. And you know, you should be penalized for missing the fairway on a shorter hole. I think they've done a really good job with setting it up this week. And I would say it's, you know, I played Oakmont and I've played Chambers Bay in U.S. Opens. Those 2 places were pretty difficult as well. It's hard to say because I feel like I've gotten a lot better since I've played my last USGA event.
It's just as a quick follow-up, I think in recent years we've seen really distance be kind of a prerequisite at U.S. Opens. This week we're seeing a ton of variety, and obviously you're a player that I don't want to demean your distance.
Let's just say I'm average. I mean, I'm probably slightly below average, but I'll just say I'm average.
We'll say average. Yeah. What is it about this course that's kind of allowing it to be a little bit more democratic with a wide range of players?
Yeah, I think there's options. You can hit driver and force it up there, but there's maybe a little more risk on some of those holes, and I've even chosen on some of those shorter holes to lay back, like 7, for example, is a great short hole. I've hit 4-iron off the tee every day. I actually ballooned one up into the air and had 5-iron in on for my second shot, which I don't want to do again. But you can hit driver up there if you want to. You just got to hit a really, really good drive, and you can leave yourself a shorter shot. I'm trying to think of a couple of holes. You can take driver and take on a little more risk. You know, I've always been like, I'm really good with my 3-wood and hybrid and burning a 4-iron. So, and I like where my iron plays at right now. So I'm kind of I'm going to get it in the fairway. I'm going to hit a good iron shot and get it on the green and give myself a look. And that's kind of what I've been just kind of plodding along, trying to just give myself as many looks as possible.
We'll go far left.
And then as you came back from, I know it's been 9 years since you played here, but were there any memories that kind of triggered in your mind this week walking around?
Yeah, I kind of, they changed the routing up a little bit. So I remember looking at an aerial a couple weeks ago after I qualified to kind of get my footing, see what the holes were doing. And then when I got out here, I remembered a lot of the holes. I'd say I probably remembered 14 or 15 out of the 18 holes. There were a couple I was a little unsure of. Maybe they changed. I know they took a couple holes from the other 9 holes. So it's a great venue. I feel I grew up in the Northeast playing like Poana and Rye rough around the green, so I'm very comfortable on this grass. And this is just it's a cool place to play golf.
Is there any one shot in particular today that is the hardest shot to execute, just in general here?
The tee shot on 13 is probably one of the hardest shots out here, in my opinion. Tee shot on 10 today was really hard. I'd say that the tee shot and second shot into 10 are both really, really tough, and the tee shot on 13, you really gotta. It's a right to left hole with the fairway sloping this way. Today we at least got the wind more in. The last couple days it was off the left, so you almost needed to hit a stupid shot to hold the 13th fairway, honestly. Just because the wind was just humming off the left, and you really needed to kind of turn it against it. You can't hit a cut and hit the 13th fairway, I promise.
And let's go final question to Brentley.
Do you consider yourself kind of like a unicorn out here in that you've never really struggled with the putter? I mean, that's always been the best part of your game.
No, I don't really look at it like that. I mean, I'm just out here trying to get better. I've been out here for 5 years now as a pro, or 5 years on tour, 7 years as a pro, and I feel like I've gotten better every year. I feel like I've been doing the right things to try and get better. You can't just play this place just putting. Like I hit the ball great today. I shot 2 under par. I hit the ball great. If I actually made a few more putts, I could have shot 4 under, 5 under. My ball striking has kept me in a lot of tournaments, really. I mean, I've played hard golf course as well. I played well at Memorial 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's no slouch of a golf course. That's a really hard golf course, and I hit the ball really well there too. So I wouldn't say I'm a unicorn with just the putter, because I do other things really well too.
Yeah.
People just might not notice it all the time.
Well, not just the putter.
Yeah.
But is it comforting knowing that that's not something that you have to worry about like some of these guys?
I mean, I get off every now and then. I mean, my off might not be as off as somebody else's off, but I get off every now and then, and sometimes it requires a little extra work, and sometimes getting the sight lines and checking in where I'm aimed and stuff. Like I said, I mean, there's still been a handful of putts the last few days that I mean, to me they were very makeable, and I'd like to have back, but I don't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that properly.
All right, thanks, Denny.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey man, we're average height.
Yeah, exactly.